Namaskar, I am Soma Senroy from India Meteorological Department and I will be discussing the weather during the last 1 week over the Indian region, that is from 2nd to the 8th of June 2022, as well as the weather during the upcoming 2 weeks. If we see the weather during the last 1 week, the most significant weather was the very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall over northeast India. There was a cyclonic circulation in the lower levels over southeast Uttar Pradesh and a east-west trough extending to northeast India, as well as there was a trough uh, system of troughs, north-south troughs from the circulation southwards to Odisha. A combination of these two systems, as well as a mid-level cyclonic circulation over the Bay of Bengal, all three factors contributed to very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall episodes over northeast India during the last 1 week. Similarly, there was a cyclonic circulation over in the mid levels over southeast Bay of Bengal and a westerly trough extended from it to southwest Bay of Bengal. Behind the trough, that is over eastern peninsula, was a region of subsidence because of which there was less rainfall over this region. But the most significant weather during the last 1 week was the absence of active western disturbances. There were two western disturbances, but both of them passed far north of the Indian region. And in the absence of active western disturbances, there was prolonged and widespread heat wave conditions over north and central India. Despite these conditions, on account of strong westerly winds over the along the west southwest peninsular coast, as well as the strong southwesterly winds into northeast India, monsoon advanced into northeast India firstly on 2nd June, subsequently on 3rd June into sub-Himalayan West Bengal and entire northeast India and most parts of Tamil Nadu during the last 1 week. So the topmost blue line, 30, which shows the 3rd to 9th June, you'll see in the west side there was not much progress, but in the east, except for the small region of north coastal Tamil Nadu, the main progress was over northeast India and adjoining sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim. If you see the observed rain during the last 1 week, uh, this is the satellite animation for the last 1 week. You'll note that this northwest India was nearly cloud free throughout the week. There was some cloud activity over the southwest peninsular India. You can see that clouds growing mostly over the west peninsular coast and also over northeast India. But this region, like I said, the east coast, southeast coast was mainly dry. This is reflected in the observed rainfall, 24-hour rainfall for this region. As you can see, the main rainfall belt was over northeast India and with less intense rainfall episodes over southwest peninsular India. If we see in quantitative terms, heavy to very heavy rainfall with extremely heavy rainfall occurred at isolated places over Assam and Meghalaya, mainly over Meghalaya during 2 days of the last week. Heavy to very heavy rainfall occurred over mainly Assam and sub-Himalayan West Bengal, again 2 days a week over Bihar, Kerala and Mahe. So you see there's a specific pattern. The northeast India had the highest amount of rainfall during the last week, and peninsular India less but significant rainfall happened over, especially over the extreme south and southwest peninsula, over Konkan and Goa, Saurashtra, Kutch, and also North India, Karnataka. At least one day a week, there was some heavy rainfall. All this is combined together to give the picture during the 2nd to 8th June period that coastal Andhra Pradesh was highly deficient in rainfall. The southwest peninsula, though there was rain, the average rain during this period is very high, and in comparative scale, Kerala or coastal Karnataka did not get much rainfall. Northeast India, Assam got a lot of rainfall, and so did Arunachal Pradesh, but Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Bengal, all these regions got deficient rainfall compared to the expected amounts. Whereas rest of India, if you see northwest India, central India remained largely deficient of rainfall. This week coincides with almost the entire seasonal rainfall, so the pattern is replicated. And below you can see the statistics. East and Northeast India, only 2% negative departure, and Northwest Central India, 96% negative departures. South Peninsula, less negative departures, but nevertheless not very happy situation. The other thing that I talked to you is, except for the rainfall, the temperatures also remained very high during the last 1 week. If you see the maximum temperatures, which is the figure to the left, and minimum temperatures, which is figure to the right, if you see the animation, you will note that the beginning part of the week was more heat wave conditions were more predominant and widespread. Whereas as the week progressed, during the latter part of the week, this gradually started to constrict and uh, confine itself more towards the northwest and central India. In terms of minimum temperature, also you will see a similar trend. The beginning part of the week was extremely hot and dry, because of which warm nights were also prevalent, especially over central and northwest India. But towards the latter part of the week, gradually these situations have started to see a some kind of uh, decrease or abatement. If we see the heat wave to severe heat wave conditions, like it is illustrated in the previous figures, Madhya Pradesh and Delhi had 1 day of severe heat wave conditions, and heat wave conditions you will see it has mostly happened over uh, northwest and central India, and 1 or 2 days over East India also, before withdrawing back to northwest and central India. Let us talk about the current synoptic features and forecasts. There is a western disturbance in as a trough in middle and upper tropospheric westerlies. We are not expecting this weather system to affect the Indian region much. The east-west trough from southeast Uttar Pradesh to Manipur, that prevails, and there is a north-south trough. So this pattern, whatever was happening during the last 1 week, continues. This is promising of more heavy to very heavy and extremely heavy rainfall over northeast India and thunderstorm activity over East India. Simultaneously, we see that trough from northeast Bay of Bengal to Sri Lanka across central Bay of Bengal, that also persists today, as has happened during the last 1 week. The region behind this trough, which is a trough in westerlies, will be a region of subsidence in the lower levels, and Andhra Pradesh is likely to get less than normal rainfall on account of this trough. Simultaneously, we see a cyclonic circulation over east central Arabian Sea off South Konkan coast. This circulation is gradually moving northwards, and it is feeding moisture, especially over the northwest peninsular region, mainly over North Karnataka and Konkan regions. So, based on this, we expect, despite these conditions, we also expect the other favorable global factors are that the MGO is entering the phase 1, which is over the Western Hemisphere in Africa from 7th, and it is likely to be here in high amplitude during the next uh, 1 to 2 weeks. Simultaneously, the pressure gradient over the Indian region, in the sea surrounding the Indian region, has increased, which indicates that the monsoon flow is strengthening. Masculine high is also shifting to its normal position. All conditions are favorable for further advance of monsoon into some more parts of Central Arabian Sea, Goa, some parts of South Maharashtra, some more parts of Karnataka, remaining parts of Tamil Nadu, some parts of South Andhra Pradesh, and some more parts of West Central and Northwest Bay of Bengal during next 48 hours. Further, the conditions will continue to remain favorable for further advance of monsoon into more parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, more parts of Andhra Pradesh, West Central and Northwest Bay of Bengal during subsequent 2 days. So these next 4 days we are expecting, and even after that, we are expecting monsoon to advance further into the Indian mainland and rainfall amounts to increase. This is the warning pattern. If you see, we are not expecting, in the absence of any low pressure system and in the absence of a strong east west oriented mid level shear zone, we are not expecting much heavy rainfall over most of the Indian mainland. However, if you note, over northeast India, we are expecting, because of strong southwesterly flow, and like I said, the east west trough and the north south trough combination is likely to give extremely heavy rainfall, especially on day 2 and day 3, 10th and 11th. We are expecting extremely heavy rainfall over Meghalaya, parts of Assam, and later on over Arunachal Pradesh also. And more or less heavy to very heavy rainfall over this region during the next 5 days. In the beginning part of the week, if you note, the the thunderstorm, the main weather will be in the form of convective activity. Some thunderstorm uh, uh, weather will prevail over the entire country during this coming 5 days. Gradually, you'll note that the thunderstorm activity will be accompanied in the latter part of the week with heavy rainfall along the west peninsular coast, as the circulation over the Arabian Sea gradually morphs into a east-west oriented shear zone around 18° north. So this is the rainfall forecast. We expect more rainfall during this coming week over along the southwest, along the west peninsular India, as well as northeast India, and the pattern is likely to be the same with some changes. We are expecting the rainfall to increase over East India during the coming second week. This is reflected in the anomaly charts also. We expect the rainfall to increase over Uttar Pradesh, over Bengal, over Bihar, Jharkhand. So, monsoon conditions are favorable for this advance that we have talked over Maharashtra and Karnataka. Likely, it is likely that the eastern branch of the monsoon will also advance further into East India and parts of Northwest India, mainly over Uttar Pradesh, during the subsequent 2 weeks. But this will be accompanied, because of the increase in moisture, it will be accompanied by thunderstorm activity during the next 2 weeks. So, southwest, this is exactly what is mentioned in the rainfall forecast for the 2 weeks. A positive thing along with this moisture increase and its penetration into the Indian mainland and advance of the southwest monsoon will be there will be gradually the heat wave conditions will are likely to reduce over northwest India, and we are expecting, especially over during week 2, heat wave conditions to subside from the entire country during the week 2. Since heat wave is no longer likely to be the most significant phenomenon, but over northeast India and gradually from week 2 over peninsular India and uh, Bengal and Bihar and Odisha and Jharkhand, we are expecting heavy to very heavy rainfall. The impact will be more in terms of flooding, especially urban areas. So there will be a lot of traffic congestion on the roads. Please follow traffic advisories. Do not go into waterlogged areas and avoid staying in vulnerable structures. There may be landslides, mudslides, especially over northeast India and the western Ghat regions where the heavy rainfall is the Ghat regions of Maharashtra. Some landslides are likely. There may be riverine flooding in some river catchments, especially over northeast India. And because of these conditions, please stay advised, stay warned, follow us on mobile as well as on website and Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.